So today I'm going to talk about something that really passionate about and it's almost like a pet peeve of mine, to be very honest, and that is the idea of the way empathy shows up when you're using solution-focused brief therapy. Now, this is a hotly debated topic in the field of solution-focused brief therapy. It is a comment that comes up very often when I show video in trainings, when I show video online. People will often comment about how solution-focused brief therapy does not have empathy, or people say, like, I don't see the empathy in the session. So let me kind of explain why I think this is such an important conversation and why it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So first of all, you can't really do therapy without empathy. But as solution-focused brief therapy goes, one of the things that we're doing in therapy is not amplifying the problem. Don't confuse solution-focused with problem-phobic. I'm very happy to listen to my client's problem, and I'm very happy to provide as much space as possible as my client needs to talk about the problem, but I'm going to make very specific word choices that allow me not to amplify their problem. So let me give you an example. If I'm sitting with a client, I'll give you a real example, actually. I saw a client the other day who's making a real significant life choice. They're very nervous about this life choice. This client has a serious issue with anxiety, serious issue with depression, and has experienced a tremendous trauma. So what do you best know from our talking? I want to be able to make this choice. I want to be able to make this choice in a way that is right for me, and I want to not be paralyzed by my anxiety or my depression or my fear. Can I tell you what my depression and my anxiety and my fear has been like? So number one, as a therapist, I think sometimes we think solution focused. The client says, can I tell you about my anxiety and my fear and my depression? And I'm supposed to say, no, I do solution focused. I don't want to hear about your anxiety and your depression and your fear. And I said, of course, I'd love to hear. And the client tells me what it's been like over the years to have gone through this trauma and struggle with anxiety, depression, and fear. And it kind of in a very told me a very kind of impactful story. Now, once I've heard that story, it's now my choice. It's now my opportunity to make a word choice on what I'm going to amplify next. So for example, when he tells me this whole story, if I say, gosh, that sounds very tough, or so how do you deal with things now? I'm amplifying the problem because I've asked a question that triggers the client to think about the problem. So instead, the amplification choice that we're going to make is we're going to say things like, and what would you notice going forward to let you know that those things are no longer a part of your life? Because that shifts the focus towards what the desired outcome is from the therapy. The client wants to get on with life and make this current choice without being paralyzed by his anxieties and his fears. So when it became my turn to talk, I'm going to say something that amplifies the desired outcome and not the problem. So I heard this really impactful and emotional story about the client's problem. But when it became my turn to talk, I'm going to say something, I'm going to ask a question that points the conversation towards the desired outcome, which is going to sound like, well, instead of those things, what would you be noticing in your life that would let you know you're moving forward in this big choice without being paralyzed in the ways you have been in the past? But the problem is, a lot of times when professionals see us as solution-focused brief therapists take actions like that in session, they think it's the absence of empathy. As we've been taught, empathy is like, I'm going to climb into your pain with you and let you know I'm here for you. And we say things like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, or that sort of thing. It sounds like empathy. But in solution-focused brief therapy, I actually don't want to climb into your pain and let you know I'm there with you. I want you to climb into your desired outcome, and then we'll let you know that that's possible. You're capable of it. And I think that's the difference. And in actuality, I think that's the truest essence of empathy. Because in spite of hearing your difficult story, in spite of hearing your trauma and your struggles, I didn't lose belief in you. I didn't lose belief in your capabilities. And that's true empathy. So whenever someone tells me I don't see empathy in solution-focused brief therapy, I always think, well, that's because you're looking for empathy in the problem-focused lens and not empathy in the way that we're doing it in solution-focused brief therapy. Because we'd have to be doing empathy. No therapy would work without empathy or connection, but a solution-focused therapist is doing empathy in a very particular way. And I hope in this video I demonstrated what that way is, because this is a really important thing to us. Of course, we're being empathetic. We're just doing it in a way that amplifies the presence of the desired outcome. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for watching. Please help me share this message. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like, give me a share on your social media pages, comment below. I love interacting with people through these videos, and let's keep building on solutions. Thank you. Have a great day.